Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Some few hours ago, a lot of very tragic things happened that caught a lot of Nigerians' attention and brought a lot of reactions. Of course, it has to do with Lagos State. Don't forget, some few months back or a few weeks back, election took place where many Nigerians or many Igbos, people believe in Igbos, voted strongly for Badebo. Probably because from LP, I wouldn't know, but as it went by, even to the point that the likes of P Square were seen openly campaigning for Badebo. But fast forward now, 13 houses were brought down, demolished, and it sparked a lot of reactions. But then again, we need to find out why Sanwo Olu, both the governor incumbent and governor-elect of Lagos State, has to do what he did. And why some Nigerians believe that there could just be something that does not meet the eye that's going on. But we're going to find out where it stands. You make your choice where it stands really. We need to hear from both sides to understand if it's politically driven or really for the good of the Lagosians living in Lagos. Before we go to the newspaper, kindly subscribe to our channel. Please click on the red subscribe button beside it to see a bell notification icon. Go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. According to the news, Igbo youth under the aegis of Coalition of Southeast Youth Leaders, that's COSEL, that's COSEYL, have condemned in strong terms the demolition of buildings in Ajawa Estate by Lagos State government, accusing Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of funding the embers of ethnic hostilities. About 13 houses were actually demolished. Well, let's continue. At least 13 houses have been pulled down at the estate since demolition began on Friday. General Manager of Lagos State Building Control Agencies, that's LASBA, LASBCA, Gbolahan Oki, said the affected buildings lacked required approvals and were sited around airport-restricted areas and on aviation fuel pipelines. Describing the situation as a disaster waiting to happen, Oke said the buildings could cause a pipeline explosion in the future, which according to him could result in loss of lives and properties. The LASBCA, that's LASBCA, boss also said the property owners lacked the required document as approvals for construction in that area. But in a swift response, COSEL, that's the Igbo group, claimed that most of the affected buildings were owned by Igbo people living in Lagos. The Apex Igbo Socio-Cultural, Igbo Socio-Political Youth Group in the Southeast dismissed the excuses by LASCA as flimsy, alleging that the action was a political vendetta. It claimed it was targeted against Igbo for voting against the ruling All Progressive Congress APC in Lagos during the just concluded general elections. COSEL, in a press statement by its President General Goodluck Ibem, called on Governor Sanwo Olu to immediately halt the action to avoid igniting civil unrest. The statement read in part, and I quote, COSEL is enraged over the massive demolition and destruction of houses, property belonging to Igbos in Rockview, Ajawa Estate, and other areas supposedly won by Labour Party LP during the presidential elections in Lagos State. This is wicked, barbaric, senseless, and stupidity of the highest order. Governor Sanwo Olu is gradually building up anarchy, and that might consume the entire nation. We want him to retrace his step and stop forthwith with the demolition of Igbo houses in Lagos State. COSEL further alleged that the situation has confirmed that the Lagos State government had explanations to offer in the fire outbreaks in some Igbo-dominated markets in Lagos State. It challenged the state government to explain all it knew about the attacks of Igbos during the general elections in Lagos. The statement further reads, Dr. William Wilberforce Chuba Okadibo of blessed memory once said that, and I quote, if you are emotionally attached to your tribe, religion, or political leaning to the point that truth and justice become secondary considerations, your education is useless. Your exposure is useless. If you cannot reason beyond petty sentiment, you are a liability to mankind. We call on President Muhammadu Buhari to call Governor Sanwo Olu to order before he throws the country into anarchy and lawlessness. Nigerians, no matter the tribe, are constitutionally empowered by law to live in any state or community of their choice, and that law is bigger than Sanwo Olu and his partners in crime to change overnight. We call on the United Nations and the international community to immediately intervene while also placing a visa ban on Governor Sanwo Olu and his partners in this wickedness against humanity. You have heard it all. But then again, they said that those houses were actually on aviation pipelines. I'm not taking any side. Let's look at this objectively, because look, we gotta also look at the lives of many Nigerians living in Lagos State, because pipeline explosion is not being so. It comes like bomb, does not respect anyone, and it could affect lives in kilometers away, miles away. So yes, it's good to take a note of some of these things and act as the chief security officer, which is Sanwo Olu in Lagos State. So yes, if that's the case, he acted swiftly. But then again, the question now is, where were all those bodies, agencies, who are being mandated to ensure that buildings are done, approvals are gotten, and done in the proper manner before they start construction? Where were they? What were they when the construction was going on until the building was completed? Babajide Sanwo-Olu, this is his second term. He has been there for 4 years. He didn't notice that these buildings were there before the elections. I'm just asking some questions. If he knew that those buildings were there before the elections and they have constructed it before now, why didn't he demand for the pulling down, or for them to, all these things are, should I call it technical bureaucracies, bottlenecks, before they started building? Why didn't they get approvals? Why didn't they say stop work, or demolish or something at the initial stage of the building? Because there's no way those guys would have gone ahead and built on pipelines if they're not indigenous of that state. I'm sure they are probably, like they said, Igbo people living in that place. They must have gotten approvals. They must have bought the land somewhere. They didn't just wake up and just picked up that land. They paid for that land, got approvals before they started building. Because I trust these guys who are into lands. They would have just written stop work, and there's nothing you can do about it. And all of a sudden, 4 years after, and few days or few weeks after his re-election, and he just went down there and said that they did not get proper approval. It is now on pipeline. And all this while they didn't notice, it's cause for concern. But if truly they gave them notices and they refused to, and they said to go ahead to build on those lands, then it's not nice. You can't be disobeying the law of the land and expect sentiments to kick in. It's wrong. But I just feel that no right thinking person with that kind of beautiful houses will not go through the right proper channel, to make sure that it got the right documentations and everything correctly before building is such a multi-million naira project as such lovely duplexes in Ajawo Rockview Estate. Those houses are beautiful. These are money gone down the drain in just a twinkle of an eye. 13 houses down, more to go. That's to go wrap it up. Let's meet in that conversation. What's your take? Do you think this is has to do with political data, or do you think just maybe these guys did not get the right approval and they decided to go against the law of the land and build upon pipelines?